back here on Gerald the Bossman Show. We're joined by the coach of the UNC Greensboro Spartans, Coach Wes Miller. Coach, how are things up there in North Carolina, man?
Oh, we're doing great. It's February and college basketball season, so it's a great time of year, college basketball, Coach.
And coach, you're having a great year. 12-3 in conference play, 23-5 overall. Going to win 11-2 in non-con. So you got to be happy with your team's play this year so far, coach.
Well, we really like our team. We've had some good results, but even more than that, we got a group that loves to play together, that loves to work at it every day, that has high goals and high standards on a day-to-day basis. So that part's fun. And when you can have that and you can get some results that you're proud of, it's a good thing. But we got a lot of basketball at the place. Let's hope that kind of stuff keeps continuing to happen for us.
And I think, Coach, it was good you had a tough game against Western Carolina, per se. I know that record's not that great, but for that tough game to win that game at home against a team that's probably like one of the biggest games of the year to play against you guys, and you guys come through on top with a big game coming up against ETSU, you have to feel good about that you guys didn't kind of lay an egg and they overlooked those guys. Those guys played hard, but now you got through that game. They can focus on Coach Forbes and his team coming into your place here on Saturday.
Yeah, it's league play, and regardless of where people are in the league standings, our league's so good right now that every night's a real challenge. So, Western Carolina may not have a great record, but they've improved throughout the year. They've been competitive almost every night in league play, and they played a great game against us. So, I think how close the game was, it's an overtime game. It says more about how Mark Prosser had his team ready to go and the way they played. I thought our guys actually played okay. I was proud of the way we responded. They threw in one from half court at the buzzer to send it to overtime. And, I think it'd be easy to get a little down about that, but our team really responded in overtime and found a way to win a game at home. And like I said, it's February. Every league game's tough, regardless of records. And anytime you find ways to get wins this time of year, they're all good wins.
Exactly, Coach. Now, I feel like that non-con going 11-2, playing against tough opponents, along losing to LSU and Kentucky, and you couldn't really beat LSU if things kind of went your way a little bit here or there. So, do you feel like that non-con really toughened you guys up for this run here you're on right now? I know Wofford's playing like crazy right now, but guess what? In a tournament situation, it all can change on any given night. So do you keep your team focused, let them know, hey, we've been through these tough battles. I know we've had trouble with Wofford this year, but hey, if we get them again, we'll be okay. But if we get somebody else, we still can beat those guys as well because of what we've been through from October to now.
I do believe there's something to challenging yourself in non-conference play, right? And we were on the road at LSU and Kentucky, and we had a bunch of road games at a bunch of other places too. I think we played as many road games as anybody in our league in non-conference this year. But those LSU Kentucky games were really challenging games, and we had leads in the second half of both of those games. So we were competitive with both of those teams deep into the second half, and even though we didn't come out on top in those games, I think those games gave us confidence we could play with anybody in the country. And then you look at the years that both of those programs are having, it kind of goes to show that we have the ability to play with the best teams in college basketball on any given night. And then, now you got to go do that. It doesn't mean that we're at that level, but you got to go do that. But certainly that gives you a little bit of confidence, some of those tough games, environments that we played in a non-conference. And then this league's just been tremendous. As I said, it's been a battle night in and night out. Wofford's running the table to this point. I do believe they're as good as any team in college basketball. I believe they should be in the top 25. But it's not just Wofford. I mean, the league is really deep. You mentioned East Tennessee State, and Furman was in the top 25 at one point this year. And, and you could kind of keep going down the line. This is a tremendous league. And we do think that's helped us grow and improve as a team throughout the year. So we're pleased in terms of the fact that we got a great team, but not pleased that we think we can keep getting better. But our schedule's given us a chance to improve and challenge ourselves.
Exactly, Coach. And I feel like you're doing this with a balanced roster, Coach. You're not like super old. Most teams are good, like you guys in the major level are super old. Juniors and seniors or grad transfers. You have a balanced roster with different levels of class levels of guys contribute to your roster, and you're playing about 8, 9 guys on a given night. So you're not only playing 7 minutes where your guys can gas out in a tournament setting because you got guys you can trust, whether it be foul trouble, God forbid an injury, you have or whatever. You have guys who you can trust and can go to on your bench and can make a difference no matter what the situation may be.
Yeah, we really believe in our depth. I think we have a number of guys that are capable of impacting a game. As you mentioned, we're a really good blend of underclassmen and upperclassmen. And so two things. One, I mean, if you believe in your kids when you play 9 or 10 a night, which we'd like to do, you're going to develop those guys as underclassmen that maybe are in secondary roles because they're pretty soon here going to be in primary roles. As other guys exit the program, and the second thing, as you mentioned, the more depth you have, the fresher you are in the second half of games. And we're an aggressive team defensively. We play up and down in terms of our pace of play. We really like to get out and run. And when you can play 9 or 10 guys, you can kind of sustain that throughout a game a little bit better.
Yes, indeed. And now, Coach, I want to ask you about a couple guys from Georgia. You got Isaiah Miller out of Covington, Georgia, and Eric Hamilton out of Atlanta here. So I know this is a good fertile ground for the SoCon players or transfer guys. So tell us a little bit about our hometown guys here, Isaiah and Eric, what they've meant to your team this year.
And Kyron Galloway, who went to
Okay.
Milton, and who's been terrific for us as well. So, yeah, we love Georgia because those guys have all been great players for us. So we're going to keep coming back down there to recruit because we've really found some diamonds in the rough down there. But, you mentioned Isaiah first. He was on the all-freshman team in the Southern Conference last year. And, I think maybe would have been the freshman of the year in the league had he not been on such a good team. We were able to play in the NCAA tournament. And we had some really good upperclassmen guards. But he's just a terrific talent, a terrific competitor. We knew that when we recruited him out of Newton High School, but we didn't realize the level of work ethic that he has. And his game has really developed from one year to the next because he's put the time in the off season and every day in the gym, working on his skill level. And so now he was kind of in a secondary role last year where he would come off the bench and give us a spark. And he's become one of the premier guards in the Southern Conference this year. He's in our starting lineup now. He's been our leading scorer in conference play, our second leading scorer for the whole season. And he's really emerging as a big-time guard. I believe that he's got the ability to want to be one of the better guards in the country, as his career progresses. And not just because of his talent, but also because of his mentality. So we're thrilled with him. Eric Hamilton transferred here from Wichita State. He sat out a year ago. He's been terrific for us. He's been in a couple of different roles. He started for a stretch when James Dickey, one of our all-conference players, was out. And he's done a really nice job being our 6th or 7th man off the bench and, giving us rebounding and toughness. And he can really score the ball back to the basket. So we've been thrilled with him. And then Kyron Galloway starts at the forward spot for us. People don't realize this, but he came to us at 16 years old as a freshman. So he's the youngest junior in the
Wow.
country. And so he's only 19, turned 19 this year. He's only 19, but he's a junior, and he's really starting to hit his stride as a player. And he shoots it from three so he can stretch it. It's a 6'9" guy. He's a terrific athlete, and he's starting to come into his own as a player. So we love Georgia. That'll be the way that we'll say it. We're going to keep coming down there to recruit. But those three are all having really good years for this team. And again, we're gonna keep hoping they progress as players.
Yes, indeed. And I feel like Coach, being in Georgia, North Carolina, South Carolina, there's a lot of great players who might get missed out by the bigger schools and schools like yourself, Georgia State right here in our backyard, even Mercer or Kennesaw State can get these guys to come to you where they can get a second chance to kind of be the player they want to be, develop without that pressure, and maybe build themselves into a role where they can play overseas one day or the NBA, the G League, because player development is very key, coach, at your level, getting guys' mindsets ready, their bodies ready, and their games ready to go to the next level, whatever that level may be for these guys.
That's right, and I think we're at a time, college basketball landscape's changed. I mean, you don't have to be in a Power 5 conference to get a chance to play at the highest level. If you're good enough, they find you now. You're not hiding anywhere. You're certainly not hiding anywhere in Division I basketball or anywhere in the Southern Conference. Look at like this year. the kid at Murray State and what he's doing. I mean, they projected him as a top 3 pick in the draft. Steph Curry came out of the Southern Conference, the league that we're in now. So I think it's about finding the right fit for kids. And there's certainly a number of kids that aren't 5-star players coming out of high school for whatever reason. But if they go to the right place and they develop their game the right way and they're given the right opportunity to learn and grow as players, who knows where they are as a sophomore, junior after their senior year. And we're seeing numbers of kids come from all over college basketball and get opportunities to play in the NBA or at high levels in Europe or around the world. So, certainly you don't have to be a 5-star kid to get the chance to make a living playing basketball.
And I see it every night with the Atlanta Hawks here because of Amari Spillman at Villanova. He wasn't like a top flight guy at Villanova, but he was kind of trying to be a first round draft pick for the Hawks. He wasn't one of their best players last year, but he's a top round draft pick. So I feel like you said, Coach, if you show enough on film, you show that right mindset, you accept your role and excel at your role, there's a place for you in the NBA or overseas or in the G League if you show the right qualities that coaches and scouts want to see from you.
That's right. If you're good enough, right, you're going to get an opportunity now. And, I think a lot, obviously kids have to have the ability and the right mentality, but the environment they're in is really important. And I think that college decision process it's important for prospects to find the right environment where they can excel. And certainly from our end as coaches to find kids that fit our environment here and have the same values that we have. And we've been fortunate to find a number of young men like that. And some of the young men you just mentioned there really fit that bill for us.
Yes, indeed. Now, Coach, you have a big game against ETSU at your place. The Bucks are always tough. So, Coach, I know you had a one-day prep for them. What are you seeing for these guys on the film, and what do you expect to see when you guys take the court against them tomorrow at your place?
Well, we've had just incredible battles with them over the last handful of years. It just seems like every time we meet up with those guys, it's a really challenging game. The last 2 years we played them 3 times because we played them twice in the regular season. We've met both of the last 2 years in the conference championship game of the conference tournament. So there's a little bit of history there. I think the main thing is we have a tremendous amount of respect for Steve Forbes and what he's done with that program and how good they are. They are always a defensive juggernaut. They're always a great rebounding team, among many other, positive qualities. So we just got to make sure we do our job preparing, and it'll be senior night here with the chance to celebrate an incredible senior class that we have, and then 3 young men that have given a lot to this program. So we'll be up for the game, and I hope we go out and play the right way.
Well, Coach, I'll definitely be keeping an eye on the score because I know Coach Forbes he's my buddy. Coach Collins used to be on his staff at Tennessee State now. That was one of my close friends from high school. So he was on Coach Forbes' staff. So I'm glad I can be even more neutral than I was because I was like, that's my guy who was on the staff. But I love when your guys battle and play. It's always a great game. You're looking for great execution and coaching. So I look forward to seeing the coach. And I hope it be another good battle and hope you guys all do well in the tournament. I hope to see you in March again on the show like you did last year, Coach.
Well, since your buddy's not there anymore, I'm going to expect you to pull for the Spartans. And, no, I appreciate it. Appreciate you having me on, and would love to come back anytime. And, thanks for the well wishes. We wish you nothing but the best as well here.
And, Coach, if you're in Atlanta recruiting, make sure I want to have you come by our studio here in Midtown Atlanta. Come by and see us in Midtown here. Have you in studio, turn on our live stream, and still have you in here, man. We'd love to have you, Coach. We can try to find some great guys down here.
Let's make that happen. I'm going to be down there often.
Yes, indeed. Well, Coach, great. Good luck to you tomorrow. Talk to you real soon, buddy. Thank you for your time today.
Anytime. Thanks, JR.
All right, folks. It's Wes Miller people on the Bossman Show. Check them out tomorrow against ETSU.
For all your photo, video, and voiceover needs, check out the fine folks at Blueberry Productions. They will take good care of you. If you don't believe me, you can see for yourself. Check out their work at blueberryproductions.tv, the Facebook page, Blueberry Productions, also a Vimeo page, a YouTube page, and it's Blueberry, BLUBERRY, Prod on Twitter. Check them out today. Blueberry Productions, great people, great work, great service.
Hey there, your yard took a real beating this summer. Luckily, Scott's Turf Builder Winter Guard has your back. Just feed your grass with Scott's again this fall when the air is cool and the soil is warm. It's the perfect time to give your lawn a boost. If you do, Winter Guard will give your yard the nourishment it needs to help weak, thin grass recover and support root growth, giving you a greener, more resilient lawn both now and next spring. Guaranteed. Grab a bag of Scott's Turf Builder Winter Guard today. You'll be back to barbecuing in no time. This is a Scott's Yard.
Hey parents, we all try to be extra careful with our children in the car, but then we get an important call or text. Remember, our children are watching. Make every drive a good example. Be in the zone. Turn off your phone. Visit childrenshospital.vanderbilt.org/BITZ to learn more about our Teen Driver Safety Program. Brought to you by Monroe Carroll Jr. Children's Hospital at Vanderbilt, the Ford Motor Company Fund, and the Allstate Foundation.
Hello, my name is Travis Williams, President and CEO of Academics and Athletic Consulting, focusing on educating and empowering tomorrow's collegiate athletic leaders. My passion is for the education and genuine concern and care for today's student athlete. It's the centerpiece of my life's work. A college education, both in and out of the classroom, is a truly rewarding benefit. For more information on AAC, you can go to www.academicsandathleticsconsulting.com. Once again, www.academicsandathleticsconsulting.com. Or you can follow me on Facebook at Academics and Athletic Consulting, or Twitter at Coach TWill24, or Instagram Travis L. Williams 24. Or you can call me at 404-542-6079. Once again, AAC is very proud to partner with J.R. McHenry of the Bossman Radio Show, covering sports and entertainment across the country. Please tune in weekly for informative, entertaining, and expert analysis on today's sports and entertainment topics. Thank you.
Hip-hop fans, I got a great album for you. The debut album from Family Grind ENT, True Speech and 313 Fresh. We're going to give you 2 discs, 33 songs of pure, genuine hip-hop. Albums available on iTunes, Amazon, Google Play, illstreetrex.com, and streaming live right now on Rhapsody, Beats Music, Spotify, Xbox Music, Slacker Radio, and SoundCloud. Check them out today. True Speech and 313 Fresh. Family Grind ENT. Believe in it. Get it.
A gorgeous tan from Suntan City gives you an inner glow that relights the fire when you run into your first crush.
Vicky, who was that?
An old boyfriend.
Lucky you just tanned at Suntan City.
Lucky he's single. We're doing lunch tomorrow.
Won't be single for long then.
During Tour of the City, try all 5 tans, including spray tan, for just $4.99. Restrictions may apply. Click to buy now.
Suntan City, let yourself shine.
When you're a teen, you finally get to make some of your own decisions. Who are you going to hang out with? What do you want to be? Are you going to glance at that text while driving? Remember, a split second is all it takes for something tragic to happen. Be in the zone. Turn off your phone. Visit childrenshospital.vanderbilt.org/BITZ to learn more about our Teen Driver Safety Program. Brought to you by Monroe Carroll Jr. Children's Hospital at Vanderbilt, the Ford Motor Company Fund, and the Allstate Foundation.
It's maybe the night that my dreams might let me know. All the stars are closer. All the stars are closer.
Tell me what you gonna do to me. Confrontation ain't nothing new to me. You could bring a bullet, bring a sword, bring a morgue, but you can't bring the truth to me.
Alexa, play Kendrick Lamar and SZA.
Okay.
Maybe the night that my dreams might let me know. All the stars are closer.
With Amazon Music, a voice is all you need. Get tens of millions of songs. Download the Amazon Music app today.
Yeah, it's your man JC, the host with the most, baby, and it goes down each and every Saturday night right here in the city of Memphis. That's right, y'all. It goes down at Clicks Sports Bar Memphis, baby. 3705 Malco Way, Memphis, Tennessee, 38125. Come out and join us, the Three Kings, each and every Saturday night for the livest karaoke in the city. Everybody gets in free till 10 p.m. only $5 after. Great food. We got drink specials. We got all kind of games, man. We got the pool tables popping. Whatever you want, we got you, man. Come on out. Have a good time with us each and every Saturday night. That's Clicks Sports Bar, Memphis.
All right, folks, here JR the Bossman Show. Talk to our buddy from the OVC, media extraordinaire Kyle Schwartz. Kyle, how are things in beautiful Brentwood, Tennessee today, man?
Things are a little rainy, but they're great, and we're looking forward to these championship seasons ramping up very shortly.
Now, Kyle, I must say I was in attendance last Thursday at Austin P and Murray State. A great game, a great ending, a great atmosphere at the Dunn Center. I was just so impressed about the fans of Austin P and Murray State showed out. ESPN2 had a great show with Seth Greenberg and Tom Hart there, man. As being an OVC guy that you are, how'd you feel that game, just seeing the talent showed off with the great coaching with Matt McMahon, Matt Figure, and John Morant doing his thing out there?
Well, I hope the listeners are at least a little aware of some of the great history that the OVC's had, and if they are, I think you really would know that our schools have been great rivalries and great support from their fans. And when I first started in 2006, when you thought Murray State, Austin P, that was the rivalry. The gyms were packed. It was intense. Things have changed over the years. Now all of our games are streamed online, or if it's on ESPN2, it's sometimes easier to stay home, but I thought both the fan bases did a great job. It was on ESPN2 and having some big-time announcers call a game with, everybody should know about John Morant now from Murray State, but if they didn't know about Terry Taylor, a sophomore from Austin P, they probably found out a little bit of something about him, and it just speaks to the high quality of basketball we've had in OVC for a long time. This season, it may be some of the most talent we've had at one period in a long time.
And Kyle, you have a four-way race for those double buys in Evansville with Austin P, Murray State, Jacksonville State on the Ray Harper, Rick Bird at Belmont, of course, and Matt McMahon at Murray State. So as we come down to the last weeks of the season, what are the tiebreakers that you know of to get those double buys for those teams in that four-way race there?
I'm laughing because tiebreakers are always a funny thing we talk about in the office when it gets down to 2 weeks left. Everybody wants to know. Everybody's calling me, and I just tell everybody to relax till we get down to to about 2 games left in the season. But right now, Belmont controls their destiny. If they win out, they're tied with Murray State right now. They beat Murray State head to head. So if Belmont wins out, they'll be the number 1 seed and get that bye. And if Murray also wins out, we would actually have co-champions. We don't break that tie. Everybody gets a trophy, but Murray would be that number 2 seed, and those 1 and 2 seeds get that double bye to the semis. So that is super crucial. You only have to win 2 games to go to the NCAA tournament. But Austin P, Jacksonville State, 11-3. They're just 1 game back. And Austin P and Murray play the last game of the regular season. So, and in Jacksonville State, they beat Belmont twice. So if somehow Jacksonville State gets in a tie with Belmont, they're going to have the advantage there. But really, those top 4 teams have separated themselves. You're going to see those as our 4 seeds. The 3 and 4 seed get a single bye to the quarterfinals. So it's really important that the regular season is rewarded with our tournament format.
Yes, indeed. And if I was one of those 4 coaches, I want to get in that top 2 to ensure that they'll double bye. 2 wins is better than 1, and you save the legs that extra night, because on night 3, having to play back to back to back, eventually it catches up with you if we in that format that you guys have.
Now, we have heard, and maybe you give your opinion, with it. Sometimes if you don't play till Friday, if you haven't played since Sunday, you're a little rusty, and you haven't played a game in the building while your opponent has played a game. Now, some people would say that's an issue if the number 1 seed loses in the semifinal, but I sort of agree with you. Less games means more rest for the teams.
And that's why I've always told coaches off the record, you should have play more guys, because when you get in tournament time at the mid-major level, Kyle, as you and I both know, you need those guys to be fresh as possible. Mm-hmm. So if you playing 9 or 10 guys, you can have that depth of carry 40 minutes a night playing back to back to back to back. But if you don't, playing 7 guys, 8 guys, it could come back and catch you when you don't want it to. That's what I try to tell coaches off the record. Try to give them a little sideline coaching from my point of view. They help them out a little bit.
Exactly. And, some of our teams are deeper than others. And, sometimes this time of year you get down to your 7 or 8 guys. So the less games is more important. If you got a star like John Morant, obviously he plays 40 minutes a night usually. Keep his legs fresh and only have him win 2 games to get to the NCAAs.
And Kyle, I wanted to ask you about this. how's the digital network and ESPN Plus really helped the OVC's viability, visibility amongst fans outside of the OVC towns? Because are you able to track where the watches come from, listeners come from? Are you able to track those kind of stats to know kind of know who's watching you at what time?
Well, this is our first year we're in a relationship with ESPN. We renewed our linear deal, and with that, we decided to take our streaming efforts to ESPN Plus, which launched back over the summer. And right now we don't have all those analytics. ESPN does, however, though, and they're gathering, and we'll meet with them this summer, and they'll tell us some of the numbers and some of those things. It's behind a paywall. We've not been behind a paywall, for almost a decade. So fans had to pay that $4.99 a month, but you're just not getting OVC basketball. They're getting lots of other college basketball. They're getting UFC, a lot of content on there now. They're getting some pro sports. They're getting some what used to be ESPN Insider. They're getting those articles on the ESPN website. So you're getting a lot of bang for your buck. One thing I will say that as a communications person I've seen, I reference John Moran again. He's projected top 3 or 4 pick in the NBA draft. When he plays on a Saturday night at Eastern Kentucky on ESPN Plus, ESPN already has the feed is going to ESPN, so they can pull those highlights or that coverage. So there's many nights on SportsCenter you'll see the OVC highlights right next to everybody. And it used to be a little more difficult when we had our own digital network. We'd have to cut those highlights and send to ESPN. We kind of took that middleman out of the process now. So a lot more attention for our deserving student athletes. So I've seen a lot of positive feedback from that relationship already.
Yes, indeed. Now, Kyle, you're in year 2 in Evansville at the Ford Center, but I didn't get a chance to talk to you last year about it. How would you recap year 1? How's the difference been down in Municipal Auditorium and being in Evansville? How was that for the fans? And what's the feedback about that? Because I didn't get to talk to you then about it, so I want to kind of catch up on that as well.
Yeah, well, we need to get you all the way up to Evansville for some games. Evansville, I had not really been to Evansville before our tournament decided to go there. It's only 2 hours north of Nashville, and it's really all highway, like 2 turns the entire way there. I think people really, it's cliche, the movie Hoosiers, Indiana, it's a basketball state, and I think that really holds true. They have a nice arena. It was built in 2011-12. It's can seat about 11,000 if you had every seat open. They have big time concerts. They've had some really big country concerts. They had Elton John back in the fall. So they're getting big concerts. They have a minor league hockey team and an indoor arena football team that's going to start soon. So they host a lot of events, and the University of Evansville plays their games there. So people come out and watch basketball all year. We had some good crowds. Murray State, obviously, last year was very good. Their fan base is awesome. They travel to the games. But I think we had some pretty good walk-up from the community now. The building, though, as I said, state-of-the-art, and from, we always say, student-athlete experience. From that experience, the locker rooms, the behind-the-scenes things, just the floor, the lighting, the video board, we just got rave reviews. So I think that the first year is a success. We're back there March 6th to the 9th this year. We have a contract for next year, too, and then we'll see after that. But it really went good. We just encourage our fans to go out and travel from their schools wherever they are. If you're in the Evansville area, come out. If you live in Evansville and you're a UE fan and your team's lost, come on out and see some basketball. Because as I said, we got some really good. We have one surefire NBA talent, and we got 2 people this year who are seniors who are going to get an NBA look, and some other people down the road for sure who will as well.
And Kyle, do you have special packages for like day session, night session, women's and men's, or is it kind of all encompassing them together as one?
A great question. OVCsports.com/Evansville. All of our packages. We have an all-session ticket that's $80 that would get you all 14 games, 7 men's and 7 women's. I know not everybody's probably interested in that. So we have single session for $15 for women's games and $30 for men's games. So it depends on how many games you want to go to. If you just want to go to 1 or 2, that's maybe the best way. If you want to go to every game, the all-session ticket that you can get right there from the website link is the way to go. But try to make it as affordable as we can. And, our schools are selling all-session tickets, too, so if anybody's out there listening that's got a favorite school and they want to attend, contact your school's ticket office, and they can definitely help you out.
Now, Kyle, not just basketball. You got track and field, golf, you got baseball coming up. This spring semester for you guys is very, very busy. So how do you and the staff in Brentwood go about getting put on all these events throughout the spring semester for all your athletes to make them have that great athlete experience, as you just mentioned earlier here, Kyle?
Well, we try to do a lot of planning. So we just, you mentioned track. Our indoor track championship are the next 2 days in a neutral site in Birmingham, the Crossplex, where there's actually 5 Division I conferences, and then the NCAA championship is also at that venue. So our athletes are going to compete on the same track that the NCAA championships will be in a couple of weeks after ours. So we plan on that. We play on basketball. We take a little bit of break, and then you come around to golf, tennis, outdoor track, baseball, and softball. But we just got some good people who are in the office who sort of work on it year-round to plan for all our championships. And of course, basketball is the most high-profile, and probably the most goes into that. But outside of that, we try to treat every championship the same as we can and make them important, because they all are important, because the golf student-athlete doesn't know what the basketball student-athlete gets. So we make sure everybody is treated great.
You get there, right? Because all the day it all matters to everybody. Everybody has a different experience, and you want to make sure it's great for all student athletes involved, and you all do a great job of that. And Kyle, going forward, 2019, 2020, how do y'all plan to keep on growing the OVC brand and get it more visibility, keep on growing and getting the schools more involved? What are your plans in that area?
Yeah, I think we've seen a little bit of uptick again with some of the high-profile basketball student athletes who we've had. You're going to have a couple of people drafted in the NFL draft this year too. The new football league that just started. We got a bunch of people playing on the Memphis team as well in the AAF. So trying to capitalize on just some exposure from those people. And just see what kind of experiences they had when they were in the OVC. And then we get a chance to go to a new community like Evansville, trying to spread the word there, because we have a lot of OVC alums throughout the South. So I think I've said this before. The one thing is sometimes they're also fans of the bigger school in the area. So if you're from Martin, Tennessee, you probably like the Tennessee Volunteers too. And there's nothing wrong with that, but we want you to support Martin. So trying to work with our schools just to get those stories out, because we have a lot of good stories. It's just not on the field success. It's people doing things in the classroom and off the field too that are great stories.
And what's good about the show here, Kyle, is that based on the markets I'm in, I touch most overseas markets, because Jacksonville State is only 100 miles from where I'm at right now, believe it or not. People don't realize how close it is to Atlanta. It's only 100 miles away, down I-20. And Tennessee State, Belmont, we in Station Nashville, so we got State Memphis, we got Indiana. So I tell people all the time, college basketball is a global thing. College sports is global, and with the radio show that we have, it makes sense because we're in so many markets. We have to cover all the different conferences because we have listeners who might go to those schools, and it all touches one way or another.
And I think that's great. And I think the thing too, and we appreciate that exposure, is sometimes you're in one OVC market and you move to another, or you move to Atlanta or whatever. But just know that wherever you are, you can support your TSU gear, your Belmont gear, or your Eastern Kentucky gear, and we have some really good fans out there, and we hope to they just log on and tune into their schools' outlets to learn a little bit more what's going on campus.
Speaking of the AAF, Kyle, and the NFL, a lot of alumni, I did a lot of research about it. I see a lot of alumni in the AAF. I saw like Terrell Bonds from Tennessee State is a starting cornerback at the Memphis Express out there for the AAF team. I still see Kadeem Edwards is on the Dallas Cowboys roster for a little while last year. Guys like that. Tajir McCall's in the G League with the Nets. So I'll talk about some guys like that in the OVC. How it makes you guys feel the office when you see guys continuing professional careers after being in the OVC for so many years and doing big things for you guys.
And I meant to do some research on our Memphis guys in the AAF. I know I haven't got to watch a game yet, but looking at the preseason and the roster and some of the people there, it was double digits. And I don't know how many of those people will make it the whole season and make an impact, but I think it shows that we play FCS football, so 1AA, what people used to call it. It's not necessarily the one that everybody watches every week, but we have some tremendous talent out there. And Demetrius Rainey played at TSU. He played in the NFL, and he just didn't make it. And he's there on the roster. Jessamine Dunker. There's 2 NFL linemen who they played a year or 2 in the NFL, and now they're here. So I think in the AAF you'll see the talent. It's not a minor league like some people think. It's right there with NFL. These people are right there. So, but we have people who are doing well in the NFL too, and Jimmy Garoppolo is somebody that missed all this past season with the 49ers, but he signed a big contract and he'll be back. And he went to Eastern Illinois, so he's an OVC alum. So we just celebrate anybody who gets a chance out there that goes from FCS and a professional opportunity. We want to wish them the best, and hopefully they will have great success.
And can't forget Sean Payton and Tony Romo in the booth, who's doing a great job for CBS right now. I didn't know he was that good at commentating until this year, man. I didn't realize he was this good.
Who doesn't love Tony Romo? I mean, he's so excited. He knows so much, and I think they took a chance on how good he was before they hired him. Whenever, and it really paid off. So to see OVC student athletes, they only excel on the field, but that degree he got and the knowledge he got playing football has really helped him. And before him, he was doing it for CBS. Phil Simms was doing it. He went to Morehead State, who he played in the OVC back when in the '80s. So it was sort of like the torch was passed from one OVC football alum to another one there on CBS.
Yes, indeed. Well, Kyle, if the Hawks didn't have a home stand during the tournament, I would be in Evansville. But no, the Hawks they pay the bills first, so I have to be with the Atlanta Hawks.
I understand that. Hopefully, you can maybe log on to ESPN Plus or watch ESPN and catch some of the games that way, because we want to make it accessible for all the fans.
Well, yes, based on my friendships with Coach Bird, Coach Figure, Coach McMahon, and Coach Harper, I have to watch if those guys are in it. Now, I don't know how I'm cheer for because they all come on my radio program and they're good guys. So, but
you gotta be neutral. Learn to be neutral.
Yes, indeed. As long as somebody come on the show wins, I'll be happy.
That's right. And if they haven't been on the show, then they better get on the show if they win.
Yes, indeed. There's always good luck when you come on the Bossman show. I tell people that all the time. There's a good show karma for all coaches. You come on the show, typically you win. That's part of our pitch. But Kyle, hey man, always good to talk to you, my brother. Good to see you, man. Hopefully I'll see you Thursday at Austin P. I'll be there. Hopefully I'll see you then. If I don't, we have to catch up down the road, buddy.
Sounds good. I appreciate the chance to be on, and thank everybody for supporting the OVC out there.
All right, folks, it's Kyle Schwartz here on the Bossman Show.
For all your photo, video, and voiceover needs, check out the fine folks at Blueberry Productions. They will take good care of you. If you don't believe me, you can see for yourself. Check out their work at blueberryproductions.tv, the Facebook page, Blueberry Productions, also a Vimeo page, a YouTube page, and it's Blueberry, BLUBERRY, Prod on Twitter. Check them out today. Blueberry Productions, great people, great work, great service.
Hey there, your yard took a real beating this summer. Luckily, Scott's Turf Builder Winter Guard has your back. Just feed your grass with Scott's again this fall when the air is cool and the soil is warm. It's the perfect time to give your lawn a boost. If you do, Winter Guard will give your yard the nourishment it needs to help weak, thin grass recover and support root growth, giving you a greener, more resilient lawn both now and next spring. Guaranteed. Grab a bag of Scott's Turf Builder Winter Guard today. You'll be back to barbecuing in no time. This is a Scott's Yard.
Hey parents, we all try to be extra careful with our children in the car, but then we get an important call or text. Remember, our children are watching. Make every drive a good example. Be in the zone. Turn off your phone. Visit childrenshospital.vanderbilt.org/BITZ to learn more about our Teen Driver Safety Program. Brought to you by Monroe Carroll Jr. Children's Hospital at Vanderbilt, the Ford Motor Company Fund, and the Allstate Foundation.
Hello, my name is Travis Williams, President and CEO of Academics and Athletic Consulting, focusing on educating and empowering tomorrow's collegiate athletic leaders. My passion is for the education and genuine concern and care for today's student athlete. It's the centerpiece of my life's work. A college education, both in and out of the classroom, is a truly rewarding benefit. For more information on AAC, you can go to www.academicsandathleticsconsulting.com. Once again, www.academicsandathleticsconsulting.com. Or you can follow me on Facebook at Academics and Athletic Consulting, or Twitter at Coach TWill24, or Instagram Travis L. Williams 24. Or you can call me at 404-542-6079. Once again, AAC is very proud to partner with J.R. McHenry of the Bossman Radio Show, covering sports and entertainment across the country. Please tune in weekly for informative, entertaining, and expert analysis on today's sports and entertainment topics. Thank you.
Hip-hop fans, I got a great album for you. The debut album from Family Grind ENT, True Speech and 313 Fresh. We're going to give you 2 discs, 33 songs of pure, genuine hip-hop. Albums available on iTunes, Amazon, Google Play, illstreetrex.com, and streaming live right now on Rhapsody, Beats Music, Spotify, Xbox Music, Slacker Radio, and SoundCloud. Check them out today. True Speech and 313 Fresh, Family Grind, ENT. Believe in it, get it.
A gorgeous tan from Suntan City gives you an inner glow that relights the fire when you run into your first crush.
Vicky, who was that?
An old boyfriend.
Lucky you just tanned at Suntan City.
Lucky he's single. We're doing lunch tomorrow.
Won't be single for long then.
During Tour of the City, try all 5 tans, including spray tan, for just $4.99. Restrictions may apply. Click to buy now.
When you're a teen, you finally get to make some of your own decisions. Who are you going to hang out with? What do you want to be? Are you going to glance at that text while driving? Remember, a split second is all it takes for something tragic to happen. Be in the zone. Turn off your phone. Visit childrenshospital.vanderbilt.org/BITZ to learn more about our teen driver safety program. Brought to you by Monroe Carroll Jr. Children's Hospital at Vanderbilt, the Ford Motor Company Fund, and the Allstate Foundation.
It's maybe the night that my dreams might let me know. All the stars are closer. All the stars are closer.
Tell me what you gonna do to me. Confrontation ain't nothing new to me. You could bring a bullet, bring a sword, bring a morgue, but you can't bring the truth to me.
Alexa, play Kendrick Lamar and SZA.
Okay.
Maybe the night that my dreams might let me know. All the stars are closer.
With Amazon Music, a voice is all you need. Get tens of millions of songs. Download the Amazon Music app today.
Yeah, it's your man JC, the host with the most, baby, and it goes down each and every Saturday night right here in the city of Memphis. That's right, y'all. It goes down at Clicks Sports Bar Memphis, baby. 3705 Malco Way, Memphis, Tennessee, 38125. Come out and join us, the Three Kings, each and every Saturday night for the livest karaoke in the city. Everybody gets in free till 10 p.m. Only $5 after. Great food. We got drink specials. We got all kind of games, man. We got the pool tables popping. Whatever you want, we got you, man. Come on out. Have a good time with us each and every Saturday night. That's Clicks Sports Bar, Memphis.
All right, folks, back here on the Bossman show. My buddy JC's on the weather. He's on fight through. He's a soldier. My man in Memphis, bro. I know it's this up and down weather probably done took you down, man. But I'm pretty sure you'll be at Clicks tonight, no matter what, because you are a soldier, bro.
Hey, man. The show must go on, man. So you know I'm gonna be live and ready to go tonight, man.
No doubt. Memphis Got Talent. Who do you got this week so far, bro?
Oh man, we got a singer. Our first singer of the showcase series so far, man. We've had a number of rappers come through, which is cool. But we got a little lady coming through, man. Her name is Rose Cortez. She gonna come through and bless us with a live performance, man, tonight.
No doubt. Check her out. Click Sports Bar and Billiards. Join JC's group on Facebook, Three Kings Karaoke. And stay updated on all things. Click Sports Bar and Billiards out there in Memphis on Malco Way. Check them guys out. Bruh, how the city of Memphis recovering from the trading of Marc Gasol for those Toronto Raptors players, Valanciunas, DeLon Wright, CJ Miles. How the city of Memphis liking that so far?
Man, it was tough at first, man, because it felt like, even though Mark is not from here, but, he went to high school here and spent so many years here, it kind of felt like, he was one of ours, man. So it was kind of hard to see him go. But, I think at the end of the day, it might slick work out for both parties, man. Mark is going to improve the Raptors and give them an even better chance of making the finals. And, Valanciunas can play. He's put some nice numbers, the few games he's been here so far. And Dalian Wright and CJ Miles, little throw-in pieces or whatever. But, Valanciunas may work out if he chooses to stay here going forward, man. But he may work out for us. And, it was a time to make a move and, allow Mark an opportunity to shine somewhere else, man. And, and maybe in the off season, maybe a chance for Mike to go somewhere and get his shine on, depending on how things shake out come this off season.
Now, how close was it to Mike Conley getting traded? From what you know,
It was talk, it was speculation, but I think the front office, their thinking behind that was to try to see if they couldn't get an offer that just wowed them, that just blew them out of the water as far as, hey, we gotta make this deal. They were content with keeping Mike and just see how Mike and Jaron Jackson Jr. Coexist and play together going forward for the rest of the season. And then in the off season see what's out there. But Mark definitely had to go. But I think the Grizz are pretty much wanting to hold on to Mike unless an offer that was just too good to believe, too good to be true, came their way, and then they were dealt it.
and Avery Bradley comes in. He's a guy who calls Memphis like it's the second home for him and his family being from the area there. So, is he a long term piece, or just also a short term contract to get kind of clear those books for the Grizzlies after Parsons and Mike Collins deals expire?
Like I said, I almost forgot about Avery Bradley. Coming over and everything, man, and part of those trades there as well. He's a guy that can be either or. He could fit into the Grizz long term plan going forward because he is kind of a Grizzly type of player. I remember a couple of years ago when he was a free agent and the Grizz were trying to pitch a deal to go get him there. It just didn't work out, but he definitely fits in as a guy who can play defense. He's not at the same level as he used to be defensively, but he still can done in certain situations. And a guy that can get streaky and can give you buckets as well, man. So I think at the end of the season, man, if the Grizz do decide to bring Avery Bradley back, and give him a deal there, I think I wouldn't be opposed to that. He's definitely a guy, still a young guy, that could definitely be a young veteran on this team, man, and help the Grizz down the road.
And what about the arms race in the Eastern Conference? The Sixers getting Tobias Harris, the Bucks getting Mirotic, the Raptors are getting Gasol, Boston standing pat, Wes Matthews, who was bought out by the Knicks, signing with the Pacers. What are your thoughts on the Eastern Conference, those top five teams making little moves there to try to get something done, come out the finals in the Eastern Conference to play probably Golden State in the finals there?
I think it's the effect of not having LeBron there anymore. Also, that you got to throw into the equation because you knew if LeBron was still in the East, there was no chance he'd make it to the finals. But now, it's wide open. That's why you see Philadelphia, making moves and positioning themselves to make a run in the East. You see Toronto making moves. Milwaukee doing their thing. It's pretty much a wide open race, man. Boston, throw them in the mix as well, man. I can't. If you ask me right now who's coming out of the East, it's hard for me to say. Because I can see 3 or 4 teams out of the East having a chance to make it to the finals. Just depending on how things shake out, injuries here and there. You just never know, man. But just with LeBron, not being in the East anymore, it kind of opens things up for these teams to try to take advantage to make a final.
You got that right, and I'm surprised that Indiana is still staying tough after losing Oladipo. I mean, which tells me, like I always thought, they made me looking coach. I mean, he might not be the most flashiest coach in the world, but the guy can flat out coach.
No doubt. I've always been a huge Nate McMillan fan, man. He's very, very underrated as a coach. A guy who got it done in past tense with the Trailblazers. He's a solid coach, man. And I think it's a perfect place for him to be. Kind of under the radar, and once they get Oladipo back next year, man, they kind of build on some of the young pieces they have. Indiana could be a threat going forward in the future.
You got that right, and JC, this is what shocked me right here in my own backyard is that the Atlanta Hawks did not cash in on Dwayne Dedman, Lean, and Bazemore as they could have. They were wanting first round picks for those players when they could have went and got 2 seconds, so. What do you feel about teams like the Hawks who overpriced their veterans and are not buying them out right now?
Yeah, it's kind of questionable, but at the same time, man, I think Atlanta's maybe a couple years away from being a playoff contender in the East, man. I like Trey Young. Trey Young's been hooping. He's been balling out. I think he's going to be a star in the future. John Collins, he's a nice guy you pair along with Trey Young. Like Atlanta, I see what they're doing. They have a plan, but like I said, it's little questionable things here and there they're doing as far as the veterans are concerned. But and boss, you would know, better than anybody with you being right down there, man, and checking them out on day-to-day basis, man. But would you agree that Atlanta's only a few years away?
I was at 3 years away.
Yeah.
3 years away.
Yeah.
Cause
man.
You gotta get Trey Young to mature into his body. John Collins has to keep improving. You have to hit on these draft picks. You got 3 draft picks coming up this next year. Your own pick. You got a pick coming from Dallas and a Cleveland pick. You got to hit on those picks as well. So you got that's 3 first round picks coming on the roster next year, unless you package them and trade them. So the Hawks to me are a full rebuild, 3 years away. So I'm looking at the 2021-22 season for the Hawks really start improving for real. And then hopefully in 22 and 23 they'll be ready to compete and continue after these young boys take their lumps. Kind of like how OKC did with Durant, Westbrook, and Ibaka and Harden. In that third or fourth year, they started making improvements, and boom, they got something out there.
Absolutely, but Trey Young, man, like he's been, I think he's been everything they thought he would be. He's only gonna get better, man. So. I would definitely. I think their future is bright, definitely, man.
Now, bro, all these guys we got traded and cut, like Marcin Gortat, Michael Beasley, all these guys we got traded and have not been bought out yet. Only Markieff Morris and Wes Matthews and Ian's Cancer have signed the buyout market. Are you shocked that the buyout market is so barren and dry and guys are not getting signed right now or bought out? Is that kind of flexing to you right now after the deadline? It's been 2 weeks. Most of the time you see it happen, but it hasn't happened quite yet.
Yeah, the buyout market, every year, man, it's kind of like hit or miss there, as far as, if it's a deep, buyout market or if the wells run dry, so to speak, man. And, some of the names you mentioned don't really. I think Ian Cantor could help a team. He's definitely a solid player that can help a playoff team. For this stretch run, man. But it's just depending on what you need, man. I think. Correct me if I'm wrong, man. Some years ago, Rasheed Wallace, wasn't he bought out of his contract in Portland? Or was it Atlanta? He was bought out, and then he was able to go to Detroit and help them win a championship.
Atlanta.
Yeah. Yeah, and he was able to, get up out of that deal and go help Detroit win a championship that year, man. So like I said, you just never know, man. It's pretty much a hit or miss thing, kind of, year in, year out, as far as the buyout market is concerned.
I remember when the Hawks traded for Gary Payton, bought him out. He signed with Boston. You remember that when Boston traded to Atlanta?
Oh, yeah.
He bought out from Atlanta and signed right back with Boston. And they changed the rule where now you can't do that anymore. That's the Gary Payton rule where the team who trades you can't sign you for a whole year. That's the Gary Payton rule.
Yeah, okay, yeah. I remember that.
Yeah, so
I remember that, man.
The Atlanta Hawks on the back end of some trades. It's a pattern here. The Hawks have been involved in some weird transactions. Rasheed Wallace, Gary Payton, Pau Gasol, Carmelo Anthony. We have a lot of weird transactions with the Hawks where we had these star players on our roster. I want to lose them to a buyout or a trade immediately. I don't understand.
Hey, man, at least y'all got 41, 42-year-old Vince Carter, though.
Man, he's playing 20 minutes a night still.
That's crazy, man.
Yeah, then we got Detroit and Phoenix coming in. Like the Hawks have a lot of home games this last part of the year, so I'm glad about that. I'm happy for that. A lot of home games, but man, It's gonna be rough when you got Phoenix coming to town. You know, Sacramento, Utah. Oh my gosh, this is gonna be some rough crowds to draw, man. Rough crowds.
Yeah, it's gonna be rough, man. Are the Hawks still playing at Georgia Tech?
No, they playing
Still
at the
playing the whole
arena
game
again.
there?
No, they at the arena
Okay.
again. Still State Farm Arena. But bro, dunk contest. Why did my Atlanta Hawk mess up his prop? My Hawk.
Yeah, okay.
Like,
Okay. Yeah,
so-
now we know dude got a house man, John Collins. He can fly. I thought the idea was corny though. You know what I'm saying? Like I thought the whole concept was corny, man. Him jumping over the plane with the old school flight outfit on, man. It wasn't a good look to me. You know, and then at the end when the wing fell off, like it was just a bad idea, man.
Then his first dunk was kind of dry too.
Yeah. Yeah,
like-
it was, man. Yeah, I wasn't.
I had to watch it
Yeah.
because I know I covered the Hawks, bro. But I was like, why did my two Hawks embarrass me? My man lost on the skill challenge on a half court three, Trae Young. Then my man messes up his prop. I'm like, wow, Lord, my Hawks have to embarrass me here in Charlotte. People like, bro, that's your boys, boss. That's your boy. Like, man, come on, man, leave me alone.
Yeah,
bro.
man. Yeah, I thought overall the dunk contest, man, like it was hit or miss. Like, I'm looking forward to Zion doing this thing next year. I could have skipped this one here this year.
The best moment was Zion's dunk, bro. I mean, J. Cole's attempted dunk. His miss is better than the contest,
Yeah,
bro.
that was the best part. Exactly, that was probably the best part. J. Cole attempting the dunk and missed it, but you can see he had his hand well above the rim, though.
Yes, so that's for me. But he made that dunk, man. That would have my man and one. Oh baby, J. Cole.
Yeah.
I could see my man with and one going crazy. That man hit that dunk though. It was shut down the whole building, bro.
Exactly.
But
Exactly, man.
well, bro, I hope Title Clicks hold it down, bro. Hope you feel better. Next week, man, we'll get back
Thanks,
into
man.
it, chopping it up, bro. And I'll see you, bro. I'll be in Memphis March 27th, the Warrior game. I'm coming to town, bro, to see the Warriors
Going
one more
down.
again.
It's going down, man. That's what's up. Appreciate you, boss.
No doubt, bro. Hold it down, bro.
All right, boss.
No doubt.
My heart skips skipping the beat. You're not close enough, so that space between you and me, let's lose it. The way you're dancing, swaying to the music, girl, that body and how you move it. Every time you cross my mind, girl, I lose it.
Alexa, play the Country Heat playlist. Okay.
With Amazon Music, a voice is all you need. Get tens of millions of songs. Download the Amazon Music app today.
It's maybe the night that my dreams might let me know. All the stars are closer. All the stars are closer.
Tell me what you gonna do to me. Confrontation ain't nothing new to me. You could bring a bullet, bring a sword, bring a morgue, but you can't bring the truth to me.
Alexa, play Kendrick Lamar and SZA.
Okay.
Maybe the night that my dreams might let me know. All the stars are closer.
With Amazon Music, a voice is all you need. Get tens of millions of songs. Download the Amazon Music app today.
Till the tears run down from my eyes, Lord, somebody, ooh, somebody, can anybody find me? Somebody to love.
Alexa, play hits from Queen.
Okay.
Somebody to love.
With Amazon Music, a voice is all you need. Get tens of millions of songs. Download the Amazon Music app today.